However, have you heard from any of your old friends? Have they, whether it's, a name like Rogan or just people who you thought were your friends that many people don't know, have people reached out to you and been like, I didn't know that. I wish I had known that. I would have never said that. Because nobody is correcting themselves. I haven't heard anybody, and it's not like I work for the UFC. I don't cover MMA, but I watch a lot of it. And nobody has changed their assessment of you. Not that you have a bad assessment. I mean, you're a legend of the fight games, no question about it.
Yeah, but MMA media hates me. It's fine. No, not a single person has called me or anything like that. They've all just doubled down and said that I'm making excuses or lying or blowing things out of proportion or not giving credit where it's due or, no. I have not. I'll be waiting for that call forever.
Are you waiting for it, though, or do you get it, and do you get where they're coming from and why?
I'm not waiting for it, and I get that they're a bunch of assholes. That's what I get. But, at least I would rather not have those fake friendships in my life. I would rather that those people expose themselves and I don't, leave myself open to them, I would rather cleanse myself of all those, fake superficial relationships and have them still around.
Well, maybe it's because I know a little bit what it's like to be dragged when you don't think it's fair. But I'll tell you, when I heard your explanation, not only did it make sense because I've done so much reporting on head injuries, but I was embarrassed that I had it wrong. And then it set like this cascade effect. Not only did I have to get you on the podcast, and I was like, oh man, she's going to be like, who, what, why, but I really wanted to talk to you because of that misperception. And it made me rethink other fighters too, by the way. If in particular, Chuck Liddell. I always loved the Iceman, and I always I always found you guys to be kindred spirits. Not that you look alike, but that there was so much dog in both of you guys, and you meant so much to the basic appreciation for mixed martial arts. For my generation of fan, and once he got knocked out, it seemed like it started to happen every other fight, and you just kept hearing about him having trouble in practice, and everybody was like, yeah, it's because he's fat. Yeah, it's because he's partying. Yeah, it's because these other guys aren't just brawlers. And then he started talking about his speech and what he's seeing in his scans and all that. And once you said it, I started seeing it in so many different people's experience, and I hope that you appreciate the power of that, whatever they say about you, they can say. That's about your own sense of yourself, but you opened a door to what happens with a lot of fighters that nobody talks about.
Thank you. I appreciate that, about you owning up to that. And I think fighters have a lot of pride, that's why we do it. And you don't ever want to admit if something actually hurt you. And a lot of times, if you see someone get hit, that big knockout, that is not so much about that one hit. That is the result of accumulation of, head injuries throughout their entire life that has met the tipping point. And that's when those knockouts come easier and easier after that. And I think a lot of fighters don't want to say that I was never the same after that, because they feel like they're giving credit to that person in that hit, in that fight. And they never want, that they still have that dog in them. But it's just what comes with the territory. You're in a fight where you're taking a lot of impacts to the head, and a lot of fighters end up, being punch drunk down the road, having all Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and dementia and all of these things, and you never know until years later when you've taken one hit too many. And if, God forbid, any of these fighters want to, to show a propensity for self-preservation, they're going to get crucified for it, for not being tough enough or being a coward or all these other things. I'm like, you're not going to be here when I'm 60 and I can't take a shit on my own. who cares what you think? But it's so hard when, you know, you get used to that love bombing for everybody. You want to keep it going and you want to keep making them happy. Applause is a hell of a drug, and that's why you see these fighters that, you know, keep coming back long after they should have retired. And regardless of how much I've been open about everything that's been going on with me, I'm trying to, you know, with my neurological injuries, and I'm trying to have kids, still people are like, so are we gonna fight again? I'm like, dude, I'm done. I gave you enough. I gave you everything I had. I cut my heart out and I pulled it out and I spiked it on the canvas of the cage, and they're like, so you're gonna fight again? They're like, no, I did everything I could. God, I'm gonna be a sack of potatoes at this rate if I keep going. Jesus.
Well,
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Back of the fucking queue.
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck.
Come on, you bitch! You scared coward! You not man enough to fuck with me! Maybe this guy is. What a loser! What a dweeb!
Goes on in this show by.
What a load of bullshit. Who is this pathetic estrogen man? He's lucky I can't say certain words because he is really a freaking you-know-what. This asshole actually believes that she's in the same category as Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was a true warrior. He was a man who did the man dance. He did this shit before it was even cool, people. He fought in Valley Tudo, okay, against Pele, a guy that caved people's skulls in and shoot box. And you could watch that fight on YouTube, bare knuckle, before Mike Perry thought he was cool. Please, that guy would get his head caved in by Austin Trout in the Bum Knuckle League. Let's be completely honest. Chuck Liddell was absolute warrior. He beat the shit out of people in the UFC and in Pride. The man was truly a freaking legend. That's why everyone loved Chuck Liddell, because he would stand there and trade. He used to beat the fuck out of Mr. Glover Teixeira. That's why Glover Teixeira got so good, people. At the end of the day, Chuck Liddell, he partied hard, dude. He liked to do the hard narcotics. He partied with the women. The man had a lot of fun in his days. But guess what? He paid the ultimate price, and that's what happens to people. It's not because he got. And yeah, if you don't have any defense like Homer Simpson and you get face planted, that's what happens to you people. But to say this woman's the same category, get the fuck out of here, you freaking moron, you mongoloid. This woman thought she was the greatest fighter on earth. You're not. Okay, lady? You were a good MMA fighter, and guess what? You got your freaking chin checked, and you got chinned by a harmless woman who couldn't even do anything at UFC 300. That woman should just retire, one-hit wonder, okay? And you got your ass whooped by Michael Jackson, clear as day. That's the best woman ever to fight in the UFC. And guess what? You thought you can box. You couldn't. You got beat up by Becca Kohei, even though you knocked her out, and that was a bum. And guess what? You thought you had hands of steel, and you thought you had iron chin. But at the end of the day, guess what? When judo does not work, and you have no wrestling, let's wrestle. And guess what? You make excuses. At the end of the day, if you already had brain problems, why would you go do fighting? CM Punk was honest, people. Guess what? Phil Brooks, most of you pussies out there will never fight. Most of you guys will get your head caved in. If you ever fall, and guess what? Any of you guys want to leave me comments, we could be in the cage, and I will face plant you and soccer kick you when you're unconscious. And I won't give a fuck. Did it to multiple people. I do not care. It doesn't bother me to cave someone's skull in and watch your unconscious body and then cave your skull on the ground. That's reality, boys. So let's be 100% honest. Honda Housey, you were overrated. You were okay. And guess what? You still can't handle it. And you had fake people around you that blew up your ego. And you're still says, just like Brandon Dumbshop said, you need yes men around. Guess what, lady? You made a lot of money in the UFC. And guess what? You were just a decent fighter. Get over yourself. Chuck Liddell, true legend of the game. I'm out.